All right. Speaking of getting settled and being in a room, I have a stinky dog in here. He tends to have a little bit of
Stinky
flatulence once in a while. Listen, it's fine. He eats things. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to judge him either. It's fine. He's a dog. He's giant. He's 180 pounds. Every once in a while, there's stuff coming out of his body. I don't know what it is. I try not to say anything. We're on the air, but the only thing that helps this room is the Eden Pure thunderstorm that's in the corner over here. Seriously. Otherwise, I would be gagging because what did you eat, Cash? Seriously, it's gross. All right. You guys can get one of those because it's the best thing ever. It's it's what keeps me from hurling on a daily basis when I close the door and I have this gigantic dog in here. You should use discount code SHIX to get $200 off an Eden Pure Thunderstorm Air Purifier 3-pack. You should do that.
EdenPureDeals.com.
Okay. Also, we have a deep dive coming out tomorrow. We did it on Pride, which
how could we not?
Is one of the deadly sins. Just want to point that out. But we did it on that. You guys should check it out. It's coming out tomorrow. It's dropping, as they say in the biz. Check that out. Also, we have a new kind of segment.
I'm drum rolling.
The drum roll. We have a new segment we're going to start doing every Friday called Feminist Friday. And we're kind of excited about this. Very excited about it. So it's like Feminist Friday, non-Feminist Friday. Well, we're going to bring you guys like a little story. And you guys can send us, your requests, if you will.
Your nominations.
Your nominations. Yeah. Things that you see during the week. But, like stuff about feminism and how women that you think aren't feminists.
Because it could be Feminist Friday or fake Feminist Friday, right?
Women that you think are, because we think feminism is basically bullcrap now.
Today's feminists, because it's worthless. They're not fighting for women.
They're not fighting for women, right? So the people like Riley Gaines, those are the real feminists now. And so we have do we have 2 stories today?
We do. It's a twofer. We're starting out with a twofer today. We have 2 new. I mean, they're not new. They're like they're in their 20s or whatever, so they're not new people. But we're spotlighting them for Feminist Friday today because they are newly speaking out about trans women in sports. And these are just like you said about Riley, these are the real feminists. These athletes, these female athletes who are getting crapped on by the likes of Leah Thomas and others are more and more are speaking out. And so when they do, they need to be spotlit. And that is what Feminist Friday is going to be all about. So there's 2. There's Paula Scanlon. That's going to be a name that you start to hear from more and more, and Taylor Silverman. And so I've got a couple videos to introduce both of them to you, and you'll get to see them speaking out. And this is the way, right? This is the way. And they talk about how important it is that this is the way. So here, I think the first one that you're going to see is Paula. Here we go.
Phobic beliefs.
Paula, are you using feminism just to hide the fact that you and all your teammates who objected to this are really transphobic?
No, and frankly, before any of this happened, I would never actually have considered myself a feminist. I just thought that I understood basic biological realities, and I believe in the truth. And I never thought any of that would be considered transphobic or feminism or non-feminism. So, no.
Well, and the odd thing about this is that there are so many liberals out there who've spent most of their lives advocating very passionately for women's rights, and yet this is the area where women finally have many platforms to succeed, many different sports platforms. And now, I guess when we see the Wimbledon finals being played, women's finals being played between 2 biological males, then maybe this will change. I mean, you need a high-profile event like that, don't you think? Where a man is against a woman and the man trounces the woman, correct? Like a college player or something.
Yeah, and then we're going to have to start our women's category all over again, right? Because then the same activists are going to come out.
Well, what about your fellow teammates who, of course, were all intimidated into silence? I mean, they were athletes themselves. A lot of people, it's hard to rock the boat. I understand that. I've never been like that, but I understand that. What are you saying to them, and what are you hearing from them after you've decided to speak out?
I haven't heard from many. I have had a few teammates reach out and thank me for what I'm doing. There is support. It might be limited, but they are there, and there are people that understand fairness and understand biological reality. So I do have hope, and hopefully more girls can speak out, not just on my team, but in other teams that have been affected by this.
And what do you say to moms and dads out there who see this train coming down the tracks for their daughter who maybe is training to be one of the best of the best?
Definitely speak out as early as you can about it, raise concerns, make the environments that are letting this happen be aware that you're not okay with it. I think we really need to come together and use our voices, get as many people as you can talking about this. I think if we really get a big crowd behind us, they can't silence us any longer.
Yeah, strength in numbers. Paula, thank you for your courage and continue to speak out. We appreciate it.
Listen
So
to
that's
yeah. And listen to what she's saying, y'all. Like, we have to all start speaking out against this garbage. All of us.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And there's another one. So, I mean, strength in numbers, right? I think that I have hope too, because the more women get out and speak out against this, I think there will be strength in numbers, just like Laura said. The next one is Taylor Silverman. We'll hear from her.
All right. My name is Taylor Silverman, and I'm a skateboarder. I grew up playing girls basketball and softball and experiencing the benefits of Title IX. We had equal opportunities to our male peers. In high school, I made the switch to homeschooling and took up an interest in skateboarding since I was no longer playing school sports. I fell in love with it very quickly, and I've been skateboarding now for 12 years. And for the past several years, I've traveled around the country competing. My experience competing in women's skateboarding was quickly tainted, though, as I realized that the equal playing field I had prior no longer existed. In 2018, a male entered a women's contest I participated in California. And this happened 2 more times, in 2020 in Illinois and in 2021 in Nebraska. And both those times I was bumped from first place to second, and it was a different male each time. I was never asked if I was okay with this or forewarned. And if I had been, I would have said absolutely not. So after the 3rd contest, I finally decided to speak up. But when I reached out to contest organizers at Red Bull and raised my concerns about fairness and about my paycheck being cut because the male athlete received $5,000 of the prize money that was intended for female athletes, I was completely ignored. I watched this become a common occurrence in women's skateboarding, and I heard stories of it impacting just about every other sport on all levels. I knew that many other female athletes were going through the same thing, and young girls were missing out on ever experiencing the fairness and equal opportunity that I had experienced in sports as a child.
It's not okay. None of this is okay. Yeah. And a lot of people are like, you should just boycott. You should just sit out. Well, the problem is that one person can't just do that and make a difference. It has to be all of them. And a lot of these women are afraid to do that, you know? So it has to be everybody or nothing.
Yeah.
And right now it's just, it's strength in numbers, right? You have to have all of it. And so we all have to be a part of this. We all have to be speaking out against it for us to make a difference. So everybody has to have skin in the game, you know?
And I think hopefully the fear will subside the more people start speaking out, because then people will know they're not alone. They are. And that's the problem. I think, with Riley, she was like, why is no one saying anything?
Yeah.
And so finally she did. And maybe that means the dam is going to finally be opened.
It's nice to see that at least we're starting to see the trickle. We're starting to see these women start to speak up. So hopefully we'll start to see more and more and more. And that'll become the norm. That women will just start saying, this is bull crap. This is unbelievable. Like, this is not okay. And so hopefully you guys will start speaking out. And then, your daughters, the parents out there will start speaking out. People have got to start speaking up for women and girls. This is not okay.
Yep, that's exactly right. And those were 2 perfect examples and a perfect way to kick off Feminist Friday.
Yep.
If you haven't sent your text the word chicks to 989898 to get your free information kit from Birch Gold yet, you should really do that, just so that you are armed with information about how to best protect yourself against crazy stock market hullabaloo. Because with a Biden in charge. There's always going to be hullabaloo with the stock market. There's no way to predict what kind of damage that he can do. But gold and other precious metals, very, very reliable. So it's something that you might want to consider learning about, learning how you might add that in to your overall financial portfolio, so that you're fully diversified. You don't have all your eggs in a basket. And if it's something that's new to you, or maybe you've thought about it and you just don't know how to get started, Birch Gold, our pals there are the experts in education. This is what they are the best at. And it's all free, and there's no obligation for you to just text the word chicks to 989898 and learn about it. There's no obligation whatsoever. So we encourage you to just do some of that learning. Thank you, FFS Jenny O. She says, Eden Pure has been our saving grace during the smoke storm here in New Jersey the past 3 days. My mom and sister both have one from me using your show code discount. That's awesome. That is awesome. And Shelly, thank you. Shelly says, 1 year ago today, I missed the chicks because I almost died. Had my 1 year post-surgery checkup yesterday, and the doctor couldn't believe how good I'm doing. Praise God. Thanks for all your prayers then. Love y'all. Oh my gosh. What an amazing story.
That is.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Like we said, buckle in, because today's show is a lot to get to. Holy crap. So you probably all heard that Trump has been indicted. The official proceedings are going to take place on Tuesday. But there are 7 charges, I want to say. He's facing, 7 counts, and they all relate to like espionage and all the classified documents in Mar-a-Lago. It is absolute insanity what's happening, considering that yesterday was also the day where a whole bunch of evidence came out about Joe Biden's crimes. And so what happens? Oh, the DOJ rushes to defend Joe Biden and distract everybody by going forward with this ridiculous indictment. And you're going to understand the reason for my name today, Mark Levin, very shortly, because we've got some Mark Levin reaction, and it is very reacty. I'll just say that. Very screamy. But first, we'll hear from Trump himself, who obviously reacted to this news, and here is what he said.
Moments ago, let's watch together. I haven't seen it either.
Our country is going to hell, and they come after Donald Trump, weaponizing the Justice Department, weaponizing the FBI. We can't let this continue to go on because it's ripping our country to shreds. We have such big problems, and this shouldn't be one of them. It's a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax, just like Russia, just like the fake dossier was a hoax. You saw the Durham report. You saw the Mueller report. It was all a big hoax. You had 2 impeachments, and they lost and we won, and we had tremendous support. But that was a hoax and a scam. And now they're doing it again. It's just a continuation, 7 years. I'm an innocent man. I did nothing wrong. And we will fight this out just like we've been fighting for 7 years. It would be wonderful if we could devote our full time to making America great again.
I mean, I think that this secures his nomination, honestly.
Yeah.
If that's what they wanted to do. After seeing, I watched a lot of this last night. I just sat there and I was like, I mean, the timing, you're right, was so crazy. Nancy Mace even said it too, because she predicted this.
Yeah. Well, I've got her talking about that too.
I mean, it's like, I mean, it's like it all came down on the day that, Christopher Wray was like, oh, I'll go ahead and turn those documents over now, here's, and it, I mean, it's all textbook, right? We've seen all this before. They have been going after this guy forever. And if you wanted to embolden his followers, well, congratulations, you did it. And you probably got a lot of people who are independent who are like, this is crazy. I mean,
I hope so, because it is crazy.
It is insane. Like you have the DOJ is so weaponized. This administration is weaponized. It's like, this is so political. It's nothing else but political. So congratulations, you just secured this guy the nomination.
And who knows if that was their motivation, if they thought that indicting him and possibly sending him to jail for up to 100 years, that's apparently what he faces if he were to be found guilty of all 7 counts. It's utterly absurd. And so if I don't know anymore. I can't figure out this administration anymore to know if they are trying to make Trump the nominee because they think he's easiest to beat, or if they just think that if they indict him, that he'll lose support, and they're just that dumb.
Because I don't. It's the latter. I think it's the latter, man. I think that they see him as a threat, so they're thinking, well, if we put him in jail, then Biden will win again. Honestly, I think that's what it is. I honestly think it's political persecution at this point. I think that they see him as, they don't want him in office, so the best way to beat him is to put him in jail.
Yeah,
and they're. You know, you and I, we were on the radio back in Indianapolis when he won his presidency. Mm-hmm. And I remember being so happy that day. I remember walking in and being really happy. And we were like, yay, he's president now. This is really great. Yay. And I remember how butthurt liberals were. Remember the screaming and the people falling on their knees in the street and they're, oh God, he's president, like the end of the world. And they were so mad. And I remember thinking, okay, well, they're going to get over it. Right. I mean, these people will surely get over it.
You would have thought they would with how good the country was running.
Right. And I thought, okay, they're butthurt today, but in a year, these people, it will subside. We're all going to be unified again. It's going to be fine. They never have recovered. Mm-mm. And it's a level of hatred and just, it's like demonic possession with these people. Like, they are insane. It is, I've never seen anything like it in my life. Like, they literally are deranged. These people are a whole other level deranged when it comes to this guy. They just want nothing more than to see him and his whole family and all of us suffer to a degree that I've just never experienced. Yeah. And we're witnessing it. And I can't, and they're doing it to the demise of our country. And it's crazy. I mean, it's nuts, you guys.
Well, and it's crazier still that, like, Van Jones, for example, his reaction was not about the weaponization of the DOJ. It was not about how this is absolutely unprecedented, a president going after his political opponent in this manner. He's more concerned that just because Trump on Truth Social apparently said, I have to go into court on Tuesday, to be formally indicted, he thinks that Trump saying that out loud, which literally everybody is going to know anyway, is inciting another insurrection. I almost couldn't believe that this was a real clip, but listen to this nonsense.
Tuesday, you're going to have the opportunity for our court system to do its job. And it could be a circus, because already on Truth Social, he's giving out the date, the time, the place. He may as well be organizing another January 6th next week.
Oh my God.
And it is very, very dangerous what he's doing.
I mean, what in the world?
Just shut up. It's like they want that to happen or something. Mm-hmm. It's just, these people are nuts. They're just nuts.
Completely nuts. Completely nuts.
And he's probably so thrilled that Donald Trump could go to jail for 100 years,
Oh, I'm sure every Democrat, they're all celebrating this. In fact, I'll show you a couple of other examples in a little bit. But first, just to give you an example of how this is just it's essentially a laughing matter. All of that FBI document, the whistleblower document about Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and their crimes that now the entire House Oversight Committee has seen, Joe Biden was asked about it yesterday and laughed it off. I mean, that's how in control of every narrative and how protected this administration is. This was the reaction.
I'm supposed to walk off the stage now. But wait.
The bribery allegation, Congresswoman Nancy Mace says there's damning evidence in the FBI file that you sold out the country. Do you have a response to the congressional Republicans?
Where's the money? I'm joking.
Mr. President,
it's a bunch of malarkey.
It's a bunch of malarkey.
I don't know. Where is the money? I've heard that there's at least 5 million apiece. Where is it? He got 5 million and Hunter got 5 million. So where the hell is the money? Where is it? I mean, it'd be nice to know that, but they haven't even started an investigation on him. So, I mean, that would be nice if somebody could maybe do that. That'd be great.
I mean, it's so two tiers of justice.
Yeah, it is.
And it is out of control. So Mark Levin absolutely lost his mind last night. Like, he was so angry. And it's actually, normally I don't include Mark Levin clips, because as much as I enjoy reading what he says, listening to him is a whole other thing.
Yeah,
and when
it's
he
tough.
starts screaming,
I can't.
it is so freaking annoying.
Mhm.
But everything he says is spot on. And so I have 2 clips of him. First, he's going to address that specific comment that Biden just made about where's the money. Here he is.
President, and what does Biden say? Well, then where's the money? He's asking us, come and catch me if you can. The idea that this man isn't under a criminal investigation and that they criminalized that damn document case to go after Donald Trump is sickening. And I would say this to our fellow Americans. Don't be bamboozled by these cable channels and these fools who come on and tell you, well, he's not above the law. Are you kidding me? Democrat Attorney General in New York, Democrat prosecutor in Manhattan, Democrat prosecutor in Atlanta, Democrat Attorney General in Washington, D.C. What do you mean he's not above the law? There is no law. What's going on here is a disgusting disgrace. It is war on Trump. It is war on the Republican Party. And it is a war on the Republic.
Yeah, it is a war on the Republic. Yeah, he's above the law. You know who else is above the law? Hillary Clinton, Obama. They're all above the law.
Biden. Biden is so on the classified document issue specifically.
Right.
He just gets to skate.
Yeah. How does she? And oh my God, she destroyed 33,000 classified. I mean, look at all the stuff she got to destroy.
Yeah.
And Comey was like, it's not worth doing anything about. I mean, it's fine. It's totally fine when she does it. It's totally fine when Biden does it. It's totally fine when Democrats do it, you guys. It's totally fine. But Trump, 100 years in jail. 100 years in jail, you guys. I mean, if we are screwed. It's like, I look at our country and I just go, what is happening? What is even happening? And the Democrats are thinking it's wonderful. They think this is great. And then they have the audacity to scream to us about democracy.
Right. That it makes it that much more ridiculous when they get all preachy to us about democracy.
Yeah.
Here is Levin, because he just got himself all tuckered out by the end of that rant. And so Sean was like, are you okay? So am I hearing you right? And so he finalizes his point here.
You're hearing me right. And let me say this. Today, what is today's date? June 8th? June 8th is the day of insurrection, not January 6th. A weaponized U.S. attorney, a weaponized Attorney General of the United States have unleashed the full force of the United States government against a former president, the leading Republican nominee to take on the existing president. We have never seen anything like this in the United States. We saw it under Stalin. We've seen it in other autocracies, Marxist regimes, fascist regimes, the third world. But they have taken the United States of America and they have dragged us into a hellhole. This is embarrassing. It's humiliating. And I'm going to tell you something. There are tens of millions of us. You have crossed the Rubicon twice, which has never been done. And we will never forgive you. Never, ever. And that's the bottom line. I'm done.
Mark Levin.
He was mad. He was really
he
mad.
was. I mean, he has a right to be mad.
Absolutely, he does.
He's 150% correct on all of that. So correct.
I mean, you guys, this is just, and we do have more reaction from lots of people, because I wanted to make sure that we showed not just Levin and Holly and Mace and other people who are rightly absolutely exasperated by this entire thing, but it's important that we hear the spin right from the other side, because it's just it's like amazing to me how they spin stuff. It's absolutely incredible. But I cannot let another moment go by without reminding everybody to take your field of greens. Okay. Field of greens. This is your green powder that you should be doing at least 1 scoop in a glass of water every single day if you know that you're not getting the amount of fruits and vegetables in your diet that you should be. And I know I'm one of those people. Listen, you're probably already doing your multivitamin, and that is great, but you also need to have all your fruits and veggies. And if that's not possible, then this is your solution. Field of Greens. Field of Greens has a science-backed formula. It's 100% organic fruits and vegetables. It's a superfood, and it tastes amazing. And I never thought I would say that about a green powder that you add to water and drink. I never, ever, ever thought I would say that, but it is. It's absolutely fantastic. And this is my favorite flavor, this like berry colored one. It looks like berry, like it looks like it would be mixed berry, but to me it tastes kind of like blueberry, I think. And I know that you like the lemon lime one.
I like the
They're
lemon lime.
delicious, you guys. Absolutely delicious. And you can try it. You can get 15% off of your first order of Field of Greens if you know you're not getting your fruits and veggies and you need to. Go to fogchicks.com, fogchicks.com. Use code chicks and you're going to get 15% off your first order of Field of Greens, and you're going to feel better. I mean, that's the thing. You're going to actually feel better. Let's get back to some videos because we want to make sure that we give you some more reaction. Nancy Mace, part of the House Oversight Committee, part of the committee that's actually looking at the Hunter Biden and Joe Biden stuff and seeing the document firsthand. So she is just absolutely blown away by the 2 tiers of justice that we're seeing right now. Here she is.
This is the executive branch tonight trying to take out their number one opponent for the presidency of the United States in 2024. And they have one standard for Donald Trump and another standard for everybody else in this thing. And if you look at the documents that President Biden had in his possession in his garage and in thousands of boxes and God knows where across the country in places that we don't even know of yet, Hillary Clinton having the server in her bathroom at her home with classified information on private email servers, everyone's held to a different standard but Donald Trump. And that's wrong. And I do believe tonight that Joe Biden just secured Donald Trump's nomination for Republicans in 2024.
You do? Why do you say that?
Well, looking at the way that they're treating him in one way versus everybody else, Biden, every time that Biden comes under the microscope, every time we show corruption by Joe Biden and his family, there's an indictment on Donald Trump. And when you look at the standard that he has, it's a double standard. It's a second tier, a double standard of justice in this country. And what the American people want, they want everybody to be treated the same. And, you know, Donald Trump's no fan of mine. He primaried me last year. So I'm not a shill, but I see this and I see how unfair it's been. And, you know, I just can't believe this is happening. And I said this 2 days ago. Harris, I said that this was going to happen on the day that we either held in contempt Christopher Wray with the FBI or we got access to those documents.
You were right.
And what I predicted it. It came true. This is the banana republic. I just cannot believe that this is what's actually happening. He's trying to take out his political opponents using the executive branch. That's what this is.
All right, let's do the due diligence.
Yep, he's totally doing that. And it's like, oh, so, you know, Christopher Wray, you know, releases those documents, or he finally is like, he says, okay, finally, I'm going to go ahead and like, here's the bribery documents. And then this happens. It's like, seriously, like people can't see that, but people are looking at the shiny object, right?
Right.
This is what they want people to do. They want people, oh, but look, we're going to go ahead and we're going to indict Donald Trump and we're going to give him 100 years in prison. Look at the shiny object, everybody. Look at, hey, everybody that's stupid out there. Look at this. Look at this. And there are 2 tiers of justice, and people are going to look at the shiny object, and they are going to weaponize these organizations, the DOJ specifically. And it's
the Biden White House is going to laugh in your face about it, because that's what he did.
This is precisely what they're doing, and the left is going to lap it up because they don't give a shit about our constitutional republic. They don't care. They don't care. And people on the left love this because they have such seething hatred for this man. They can't see past it. They can't see what's happening to our republic, and it's crumbling before their very eyes. And they don't care. They just don't, because they're so consumed in hate. And it's gross what's happening right now. We are literally like we're decaying. We're destroying ourselves. I mean, we're not. They're doing it. And they just don't care. They'll do whatever it takes to destroy this one man. And in doing that, they're destroying our country.
And they don't care. They don't care. And I hope that, you know, people like Nancy Mace and Josh Hawley and whoever else, I mean, everyone needs to get super loud about this and keep on it, because I just hopefully there's, whether it's shared on Twitter or however these clips end up getting shared and seen, the more people that see them, the better, because what they're hearing on MSNBC is like a completely different story. And I'll show you that in a second. First, here is Josh Hawley.
Now.
Here's what I will say. If the president in power can just jail his political opponents, which is what Joe Biden is trying to do tonight, we don't have a republic anymore. No. We don't have the rule of law. We don't have the Constitution. Our Constitution is built on the basic rule of law and due process, and nobody should be in doubt of what's happening tonight. Joe Biden and his cronies are trying to take out their chief political opponent. This has never happened before in American history, Laura. We are in dangerous, dangerous waters, and it is because of Joe Biden.
So that's the correct view, right? I mean, that's the obvious correct view. That's what you heard from Mark Levin. That's what you hear from Nancy Mace. Then you turn to MSNBC and you see Nicole Wallace with her smug little stupid face talking to this chick, Mara Gay. And the reaction is like utterly insane. It just boggles the mind how different it is. Listen to this.
But what we saw today was the president doing what he promised during his 2020 campaign, which was a return to normalcy, turn down the temperature, turn down the volume. Now that Trump's back on the campaign trail, that's going to be really, I mean, I thought this was to Biden's advantage, really. I mean, he's essentially showing that he is kind of the normal guy.
Oh my God. This is normal to them.
Oh my God.
This is normal. Like everything that we just talked about, that is normal. At what time in our history has this been effing normal?
Well, it's never happened. And so it's totally out of the norm.
Right. I'll wait over here while you figure out a time in America's history where when this has been normal. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Like these people are insane. Liberalism is a mental disorder, you guys.
Without question. Without question.
Oh my God.
Now, speaking of Nancy Mace, as you know, she's on the House Oversight Committee. So she had an opportunity to see the FBI document. And so she also gave Harris Faulkner an update about that.
What did you see? What's in that document?
Well, what I saw today was a very credible, very legitimate a source of information that showed bribery with Joe Biden and his son Hunter Biden. The details and information that we saw was more than $5 million. And it was $5 million each in this document. And what we saw was information. I have more questions tonight than I have answers for the FBI. I want to know if it was investigated, where they are in the investigation, how they are investigating it. Did they subpoena emails? Did they look at bank records? Are they looking at the bank records not only of the Biden family members, including Joe Biden and his son Hunter? Are they looking at the bank records of the dozens and dozens of shell companies? Because there's a reason, and they bragged about it in this document. They said it would take 10 years to find the paper trail, find the money trail, but it exists. We need to look at the bank records. I talked to Oversight Committee today and Chairman Comer. We need to subpoena more bank records. I want to go back to the Treasury and look at the suspicious activity reports and compare the information that we had then with the information we have now. It's really bad. And it's the kind of thing, whether you're Republican or Democrat or not, if this isn't corruption, if this isn't against the law, then it should be. We need to.
Well, I mean, Hunter probably snorted it off of a trafficked prostitute's naked body.
Yeah, his money is accounted for pretty well.
I mean, we could probably find the trail for that pretty quickly. But, but Joe Biden, I don't know. We probably have to look a little bit for that. I mean, I'm sure it's somewhere, Well,
I mean, he's got a pretty nice beach house there in Delaware.
Jill probably decorated it. He probably used it for decorations or something with some house somewhere. We could probably find it. It's just a matter of looking for it. Nobody's investigating it.
Well, they're very, very busy dealing with classified documents that Trump had a right to have.
So busy. So incredibly busy. I mean, the DOJ just doesn't, they don't have time. The DOJ doesn't. They don't have time, you guys. So busy. It's infuriating.
It is. It's absolutely infuriating. I wish there was something that we could be like, so anyway, here's the good news about that. Can't yet. Just got to tell it to you straight. But we are heading into the weekend, and so we will have some positivity, I promise. It's just not about that, because there's nothing positive about that. RFK Jr. made an appearance on Neil Cavuto last night and talked about a couple things. The first thing he talked about is just the threat that he presents to the Democrat Party and why he's so ignored by the Democrat Party. So you'll hear that first. And then in the second clip, Neil asks him if he thinks that Joe Biden will actually get on a debate stage with him. And I thought his answer to that was pretty interesting. I'll just let both play right now.
That's why maybe some in your party have a policy of Operation Ignore when it comes to you, Robert. Elizabeth Warren was among those who's asked Amazon to stop recommending a lot of your books. That dates a while back. Even some of your own prominent family members, I'm sure they talk to you, but very few come out and campaign with you. Caroline Kennedy, maybe I can understand. She's an ambassador for President Biden to Australia. But there does seem to be some concern among the party establishment that you are a threat. When they look at you as a threat, what do you say?
Well, I don't think I'm causing the problems for the Democratic Party right now, Neil. I think the party has its own problems. I think, listen, the Democratic Party is not supposed to be the party of war. And I'm campaigning against us being the party of war. We're not supposed to be the party of fear, of censorship, of pharma, of Wall Street, of the neocons dictating our foreign policy. We are supposed to be the party of the American middle class. And right now, most of the American middle class feels that they're being ignored. And, I'm trying to, speak to them and to represent, those interests. And I think it's important for the Democratic Party that we find our way back to those constituencies and back to our traditional values.
Let me ask you that. Do you think you can get him to debate you?
I don't know. I doubt if I can get him to debate me. I mean, you're asking me a question straight out, and I'm giving you the straight out answer. If I were him, I wouldn't debate me. I don't think it would be. If I were his advisors, I would advise him not to debate it. I don't think it's good for our country, but I think in terms of his personal interest, is probably better that he doesn't debate me. But I don't think that I need to debate him. I think now I have other ways to talk to the public, and I think Democrats are going to at some point realize when the polls that we're watching internally become public, that I'm much more likely to be able to beat the Republican candidate, whether it is Donald Trump or DeSantis. I'm very, very far ahead of both of those.
Now, let's ask, your party's going to be.
Isn't that interesting?
It is very interesting. He is a very ugly mirror for Democrats. Like, he's this mirror that is facing Democrats and showing Democrats how freaking ugly they are now, and how much they've lost their way. And they claim to be for the middle class, and they claim to be anti this and anti that. They're not. They're these super ugly, awful people who are basically corporate shills, and they're pro-war, and they hate the middle class, and they actually don't like Black people, and they don't like women, and they, you know what I mean? They're all those things. They're anti everything they claim to be. Mm-hmm. And he is the mirror that is showing them all those things. And they're like, shut up, Robert, shut up. They hate this guy because of that. Because he's showing them all of the ugly things that they are. And they want so badly for this guy to go away. And I love it. I love everything about him for that reason alone.
Well, and it's interesting that he's now to the point, because he's seeing his own internal polling, and he's now to the point where he's like, yeah, I don't need to debate him. I'm getting my word out. And it's clear that he is, because it's not just, if the left is ignoring him, the right certainly isn't. We've actually, if we could get him on our show, we'll do it.
Totally.
And so, if his own party refuses to platform him in any way, then he's got plenty of other outlets. Thank God for Twitter and some of those outlets that are providing it for him, because otherwise, who knows if he would even be heard from at all. But I like that his attitude now about debating is just like, whatever. Probably not good for Biden. I don't need it.
Really? Yeah. Biden's a loser. Like exactly. And my party has lost its way, and they have, and we know that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he knows it. And so many of us know it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Want to give people last chance. We're getting down to the wire now. We're just a week away from Father's Day, and Omaha Steaks has put together the dad's favorite package for just $99.99. And when you get the package, it has the 4 filet mignons, the chicken breast, the pork chops, the jumbo franks, the apple tartlets, the whole jar of seasoning, and then 8 free steak burgers get thrown in on top of that when you order. So to give us credit for your order, we would so appreciate it if you would put the word chicks in the search bar, because then that helps them know that you are coming from our audience. So we really appreciate that. If you go to omahasteaks.com and put the word chicks in the search bar to get the dad's favorite package for just $99.99. It's the perfect Father's Day gift. And you might as well, while you're there, pick up some extra sides, because their scallop potatoes are amazing. All their potatoes are amazing. No matter,
Get the desserts.
Well, it comes with the tartlets already, but
Get
I'm
extras.
saying there's never too many desserts.
Right.
But the sides, you guys.
I know, they're really good. They're very, very good.
So freaking good. Anyway, it's a great Father's Day present for any father in your life.
People are saying that they hope that RFK Jr. has a lot of protection, because he could be Clintonized. I don't know. That family, that's just the curse on that family. I would just be constantly watching my back if I were a Kennedy anyway, just because of the history that I just watched the other day. I watched the movie Chappaquiddick. Have you guys ever seen that movie? I mean, that family is just full of scumbags, They just are all they were just gross. So many of them were so gross. I mean, so many people deified so many people in that family. And they were, I never did. I just think a lot of them were just so smarmy. And I mean, listen, I'm sure RFK Jr. is he seems like a very nice man. He seems nice. I don't agree with him on so many things politically. He seems like a decent enough human being, regardless of his family history and how so many of those guys were just, yeah.
But there is a good Kennedy. And so anytime we have a chance to play some Senator Kennedy, totally unrelated, we're going to take it. And so we've told you, and I know you guys have read on your own, there is a lot of chitter chatter from Democrats all over the country, whether it's at the congressional level or just state and local level. There is a lot of chitter chatter from all of the climate weirdos that they're trying to take your gas stoves. And it's not going to stop there. They're going to try to decrease the water supply in your dishwashers. They want to get rid of, gas powered dryers. They are trying to get rid of any handy appliance because they want to make your life more difficult. This is clearly happening. There's already laws that have been passed in New York City, in places in California. This is happening, that by a certain year, and I think in New York, it was 2026, that you're no longer going to be able to purchase a gas stove. Okay. So it's not you can literally get all the data.
Oh no, it's not happening. It's not.
But that's what's crazy. And so it is happening. Okay. There's plenty of evidence for it. And yet you're going to hear from Kennedy first about this issue. And then you're going to hear from Hakeem Jeffries telling you not to believe your own eyes and ears.
It's just not. It's not.
They're just lying to your face, you guys. But here's Kennedy first.
The Biden administration, Sean, is also beavering away on similar rules, as you pointed out, for gas stoves, for ovens, for dishwashers, for clothes dryers, for electric motors, for vending machines. All of this is going to hurt the American people. It's going to restrict consumer choice. It's going to raise prices, and it's going to have minimal, if any, impact on CO2 emissions. In my opinion, it's a moranathon. And it is just further evidence that crazy never takes a day off in Washington, D.C. when President Biden's in charge.
Extreme MAGA Republicans also wanted us to spend this week talking about kitchen appliances.
Oh my God.
Right? As part of some phony narrative that Joe Biden and Democrats want to take away gas stoves. Nothing could be further from the truth.
I mean, he just says that. He just says it.
Yeah.
What the hell?
He lies. He is a liar. A liar. That's actually happening, Hakeem. It's happening. Are you not aware of that? Is he not aware or is he actually lying? That's what I want to know. Maybe he just doesn't know. Does he not know?
He has to know, because I think this is the new strategy of this White House. They laugh in our face or they lie to our face. And look at us. We're sitting here powerless to do anything about it. We know the truth. We speak the truth. It's just like the whole freaking trans movement, right? We know what biological reality is, and yet the whole world is going crazy and kowtowing to the crazy.
Yeah.
And it's just like we're sitting here like in reality land going, what is happening to everybody?
Yeah. Kowtowing to the lies. That's what they're doing. That's what we're all doing. We're all just like, oh, but if I don't go along with the lies, then I'll be called a name, So I guess I'll just sit over here in my corner and just keep giving them money.
God, I mean, it's
just
so
ridiculous.
Out of control.
Yeah.
Chasing Grace, thank you so much. She says, and this is a great point. She says they can turn off electricity, but they can't turn off gas and not propane or gas tanks. So if you've got that on your property, they can't turn that off. It's a great point. And seriously, and I know I've said this before. I have never in my entire life used a gas stove, and I'm getting one in my new house just out of spite. That's how mad I am about
way better.
this.
It's way better.
I know everybody says that. That's not even the point, though. That's not the point. The point is they could be worse, and I would still get one.
Yeah.
I would still be getting a gas stove out of pure spite, because this is so much about control and trying to just take over every aspect of our lives. And I'm going to resist at every possible turn.
Yeah.
So sick of these people. God.
It's just insane. He just blatantly lied.
Just
flat out
faces.
lied right there when it is actually happening. They're doing that. They're doing it in New York. They're doing it. Yeah.
I can give you all the links, all the evidence, all the data.
I mean,
how dare they?
We have the receipts, and he's lying. He's lying to everybody.
Yesterday, we told you guys about how Fox had sent Tucker Carlson a sternly worded letter to warn him that his Twitter show is against his contract. It's a breach of contract because he still has not actually been terminated from Fox News. And so he's not allowed to have a show elsewhere. And Tucker's defense of that is, I can be on Twitter. Like, I'm a human being and I'm allowed to share my opinions on Twitter and to you.
Screw you.
And so as a bigger middle finger to Fox, he released a second episode yesterday, which I thought was perfect timing. And obviously we can't play the entire episodes. I think this one was almost 13 minutes, but he did talk specifically, and this is the part I pulled, about the news that came out of the Wall Street Journal that Instagram has just been really, really helping pedophiles and child pornographers out with their algorithms. And nobody is talking about that. Tucker is. Here he is.
Street Journal ran a long expose about kiddie porn on Instagram. Instagram, the journal found, quote, helps connect and promote a vast network of accounts openly devoted to the commission and purchase of underage sex content. Instagram connects pedophiles and connects them to content sellers of child pornography. In one instance, the paper discovered that Instagram was recommending the phrase incest toddlers to users who'd expressed interest in similar material.
My God.
By the way, no one at Instagram denied that any of this had happened, nor did Mark Zuckerberg, who controls the company. The journal story was accurate. It was all pretty shocking, but not as shocking as what happened next, which was effectively nothing at all. The largest circulation newspaper in the United States revealed that one of the world's most influential companies was promoting pedophilia, and nobody in power did anything about it. The Justice Department did not announce an investigation. Congress did not schedule hearings. The guy who runs Instagram, Adam Mosseri, still has his job. In fact, Mosseri's last tweet, which is pinned, is a video of himself bragging about how effective Instagram's algorithm is. Keep in mind as you watch this, it's real.
People often talk about the algorithm, but there is no one algorithm for Instagram. There are many algorithms and ranking processes we use to try to personalize the experience to make it as interesting as we can for each and every person who uses Instagram. We believe in this idea of personalization. What you're interested in and what I'm interested in is different, and so therefore your Instagram and my Instagram should be different.
What you're interested in and what I'm interested in is different, Mosseri explains patiently, so your Instagram feed will be different from mine. You're interested in children, that's why you're getting all the incest toddler posts. It's a highly personalized experience. That tweet is still up tonight. Of course, everybody at Instagram, in fact, everyone everywhere in authority, will still claim to think that child molestation is bad, but the tone has changed unmistakably. When they say it's bad, they mean it in a kind of abstract way. Bad like a civil war in Central Africa is bad. You wouldn't prefer it, but there are reasons it happens. That's why we now refer to pedophiles as minor attracted persons, because honestly, who can judge? These people are a sexual minority, so pause before you attack them.
Yeah, the Justice Department doesn't care about that because they're too busy, investigating people like Trump.
Right. Because he kept some of his own personal letters.
Right. I mean, why would they busy themselves investigating, pedophiles when they're so busy investigating, a former president,
God, I mean, it's one thing for pedophiles to hang out in the corners of the social media accounts, but to be helped by the algorithms, that's freaking insane.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Insane.
Think about how much easier it would be if social media platforms returned to their roots, which was when we as users picked the things that we wanted to follow, and then chronologically we would see that content. We wouldn't be fed content from people we didn't follow or pages we didn't follow. We would seek out what we wanted to follow and see that. Now the algorithm, and if it were still that way, it would be so easy to track down the weirdos, the criminals, the pedophiles, the terrorists, because people would not be, they wouldn't be fed that content. They would have to go seek it out.
Yeah.
And so if we can seek it out, that means the Facebook powers that be can seek it out. But instead, they've created all of these processes and these personalized these experiences, and now everything is borked, and they've made it so much worse.
Yeah.
God.
It's all about the almighty dollar too. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what it all boils down to is greed, which is
and
gross.
Nicole Wallace and Mara Gay, I guarantee you, are not covering this story.
Oh,
they're too gloating. They're over there gloating about Trump right now.
They're salivating over it. Absolutely salivating over how everything's gone back to normal. Okay.
Oh my God.
All right.
Oh my God. And meanwhile, we've got this absolutely demented old fool as a president who cannot even string together a comprehensive, a coherent sentence. And not only does the media and the rest of the Democrats cover for him, so too is the rest of the world. And here's a perfect example. You're about to see him sitting down in the Oval with the Prime Minister of the UK, British Prime Minister, what's his name? Sunak, I think his name is Sunak. And Biden starts to ramble about this story that he wants to tell. Like, that reminds me of the time that whatever. He starts to spin this crazy tale. And in the process, of course, he says anyway, or anyhow, because he never remembers what he's saying. In the process of telling the story, he forgets the name of Winston Churchill, who is part of his story. And so what happens? The prime minister jumps in to rescue him so that he ends up not looking quite as awful. Look at this.
I take you over to the residence where I live. And when you were over in Blair House,
oh my God,
President Truman was there because they were redoing the White House. He put a hole in the Truman balconies that exist now because of Blair House being built. That second balcony you see, the first balcony you see going up. So at any rate, and there's an awful lot of stories that are told, probably a bunch apocryphal about the former prime minister. Like they take baths up that. Anyway,
wandering around at 3 a.m. Yeah, Winston Churchill bothering Mrs. Roosevelt. Yes. So you won't. Don't worry, you won't see me there.
I mean, he just fills in the blanks.
Yeah.
Instead of just looking at him like,
You're an idiot. You're a freaking
okay?
idiot. Yeah, exactly. You're an old, just senile old coot. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What? Did you even understand anything that Biden said in that? Okay. Because I was like, am I getting worse at hearing?
No, he's rambling. He's totally rambling. He's just nonsensical. He's completely off his rocker.
And then he throws in at any rate. And
anyway, anywho. Yeah. This is the thing. And they want him to be president for another 4 years. These people are out of their freaking minds.
Yep. They are out of their minds, all right. I think it was like earlier this week or maybe last week that we showed a clip of Justin Trudeau able to rattle off the alphabet brigade set of letters, the continuously expanding set of letters.
With Two-Spirit on there too.
Yeah, with the
like,
Two-Spirit on the front.
Yeah.
And he was so good at it, right? Like he was so like
he practiced.
He practiced.
He stood in front of his mirror and he practiced. He stood there bare chested and he flexed. He did. He flexed and he turned to the side and he practiced for hours. He did that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, he had gotten pretty good. In fact, I have a couple of examples. One that I know I've shown before, and then also another one where you can hear like the ease with which he is able to say all the letters. Check this out.
Welcomed in 2S LGBTQI plus refugees fleeing violence and persecution around the world. At the same time as we're strengthening our fight for human rights, particularly in developing countries, and we delivered an official apology in the House of Commons for the rejection, oppression, and criminalization of 2S LGBTQI plus workers within the federal.
Whether it's 2S LGBTQI plus rights that are constantly.
So, I mean, he got really good at it.
Yeah, he did. He's just letting it rattle off. He practiced so hard. Good for him.
Well,
look at him. Oh, is he messing up?
It didn't
Is he messing up now?
last. He had himself some trouble yesterday, you guys.
Okay, poor Trudeau.
There was no way I was going to miss out on an opportunity to make fun of this. And so this is what happened yesterday when he tried to say all the letters.
Never apologize for standing up for an LGBTQ2 plus
poor little
kids'
manlet
rights.
God, you forgot the Q. You forgot the A or something.
Two-Spirit. You little manlet. He's such what a douche. God, a guy. I swear.
Oh my God, I just love that
Be like,
clip.
hey, why'd you leave that school that one time? Why'd you?
Yeah, what was that all about? What's
Why'd
that
you
whole
leave?
NDA
Why'd you leave
thing?
in the middle of the school year? Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's lighten things up a little. I mean, that was pretty light, but we're going to continue to lighten things up a little bit.
It's just another day in Trudeau's life. A little manlet. Yeah.
So I think this next clip, there's a little clip from an interview that Piers Morgan did with an OnlyFans star that I wanted to share because I thought that this was interesting and I didn't quite know how to feel about it. Like my gut tells me chicks who make lots and lots of money on OnlyFans are resourceful, certainly, but also
Is that the word? Is that the word? Resourceful? Yeah. Okay.
Resourceful skanks, right?
Okay.
I mean, like, I feel like that kind of, it covers the fact that they know how to make a lot of money really well, but also they do it in a way that's pretty skanky. And
They're
so
kinda like, basically, they're like today's whores, right? Is that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I could say a nicer word, but they're basically today's prostitutes, right? I mean, I could dance around it, but that's basically what they're doing. They're engaging in present day prostitution. That's what they're doing.
Right.
I mean, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but that's what it is, you guys. I mean, you can disagree with it or agree with it or sugarcoat it any way you want to sugarcoat it, but that's what it is. It's present day prostitution, right? Digital whores, somebody called it. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's what it is. Whatever you can, but that's in essence what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, I also am one of those people that I have mixed feelings about whether or not prostitution should be legal. Like there's a part of me that definitely thinks it should be.
To each their own, whatever. But that's essentially what they're doing.
Right. Yeah. But also, like, I would be horrified if anybody in my family ever chose that profession. You know what I mean? So I have obviously some conflict and mixed feelings about it. But this girl, I think she says her age. She may be 25, 26, something like that.
She's 25. Yeah.
And so she's talking to Piers Morgan and she makes a lot of money, doing her OnlyFans. And he starts out saying, okay, so you're like stripping, right? And she's like, oh, no.
No, she does way more than that. She does
way more than that. And his reaction is just, I don't know. There's something, I have affection for Piers Morgan, even though I disagree with him about so many things. And so I just thought this clip was interesting. Here it is.
Curious about you being someone who embarked on a law career, was obviously very bright, went to university, packed it in just for money to be effectively an online stripper. I mean, that's what you do, right?
Yeah, way worse than an online stripper. But
what do you mean way worse?
Way worse. Online strippers just, naked. I do things that are way more grotesque than
just
that.
Pornography,
anything. But it's all within what I want to do, and I absolutely love it, and I'm really good at it. I could be a good lawyer, yes, but also am I good at doing other things on video and camera?
How would you feel when you want to have kids yourself?
Well, I mean, I don't really want kids right now. But
you will do. How old are you?
25.
Right, so you will do at some stage, probably, right?
Maybe.
When you do, you're going to be proud that you have your little ones and they look at you and go, didn't you want to be a lawyer, Mummy? What happened?
Yeah.
And you go, yeah, but look at all my stuff.
They can cry in a Ferrari.
And his face at the end just absolutely cracked me up. He was like, okay.
Right. I mean, the thing that my takeaway from that is she's 25.
And she's going to have regrets.
Well, I don't know if she'll have regrets. I don't know because I'm not her. But man, 25 is way different than 50. That's all I'll say about that. I mean, you just, it's 25 is different than 35. 25 is different than 45. You know what I mean? And 25 is certainly different than 75, I would imagine, when you're looking back on your life. Don't you think, ladies?
How do you get married? Like, who's the guy that marries her and thinks, I want that to be the mother of my kids?
Right.
I mean, I'm sure there are men that
I'm
men
sure.
marry strippers and porn stars all the time.
I'm sure that there are. There's somebody for everybody, right?
I guess that's it. That's it.
Yeah. But I mean, and your kids are going to laugh in a Ferrari or they're going to be upset in a Ferrari. I don't know. That was kind of ouchy. It's like, really? Is that what's important?
I guess that's what's important to a lot
her.
of people.
I guess that's what's important to her. And okay.
Anyway, I thought that was of interest. Also, I think you put this on our website yesterday, chicksontheright.com. There's a fellow who has decided to get involved in all the pronoun stuff. And he has a new method of getting the attention that so many of these pronoun weirdos are getting. And I thought I would share it with you in case you guys want to take him up on these ideas. And go.
I love this. This was really good. If it ever comes up.
My pronouns are I, me, he, him, she, her, we, they, us. Sometimes I even use Shakespearean pronouns, which are thee, thou, thy, thyself, and ye.
Yes.
I'm transgender, non-binary, gender conforming, gender fluid, just to name a few. As you all know, the trans movement is the fastest growing movement out there, so I figured, why not get involved in the ground level and use it to my advantage?
Yes.
For instance, whenever I'm late to work, which happens a lot, I'm not gonna lie, I just self-identify as translate. Not translate like the language translate, but you guys know what I'm talking about. That's someone who's late but identifies as being on time. Right. I thought of that one myself.
I'm not gonna lie, it is challenging having somebody like Ernie in the office, but due to diversity requirements, we have to have he, him, she, her, we, they.
Don't forget about us.
Sorry. And us. In the office.
Oh, God.
After lunch, I identify as trans-abled. That's someone who identifies as being handicapped. I do this purely to get out of working a few hours of the day. Huh?
Over here, Ernie.
Yes.
You know you're not blind, right?
I know, dude, but can you not? Shut up. I don't want them to know. Relax. Later in the day, I identify as transracial and become a black dude from Brooklyn. My name is Tyrone, but my boys call me Tyreezy. You feel me? Brooklyn, stand up.
Sarah, want to do lunch?
Shut up, white boy. I'm trying to shoot. Hey, yo, if you step to me, dog, I have to pull the trigger. Don't let the baby face fool you. I'm a real ass nigga. What the Where'd he go? I'm also transparent. That's identifying as not being present. I do this to get myself out of sticky situations, just like this.
Oh, God, it was so great.
For the people that are saying, where can we find that? I just told you.
It's on our site.
Posted it on our website,
I posted it.
chicksontheright.com.
I posted it yesterday because I was very tickled by it. It was so great. So you should go to our website every single day. Check
This is the kind of stuff that you miss if you don't go to our website.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
should go to our
sometimes
website.
I play it, but not always. So
every single day you should be going there.
yeah,
Mhm.
for real.
Mhm.
And then the tail end of this before we get to whack is of this is one of these, I think it's a student it's a man on the street interview where she's being asked to talk about like all the privilege that males have, that white males have over women like her. And so she's very good at spouting out the narrative, right? She's very good at saying like how much privilege men have.
Talking points, so many talking points.
She's really good at it. But when you ask her to give an example, that's when things go a little bit wrong. Here we go.
Tired of straight white men having the power and everything, you know, and it's like we as women of color, as like students at this university, like we're very much capable of certain things and we don't have the same privileges that are offered to straight white men.
And I've been hearing that from a lot of the ladies that I've been talking to today. Talk to me about what some of those privileges are that, you know, straight white men have that you don't have. Talk to me about that.
I think I don't really know. Have you ever experienced like a specific instance?
I know, but I also need to go.
I know, I do need to go. I'm sorry.
Oh, she needs to go now.
I do need to
I have to go because I'm really dumb.
I'm an idiot. I just know the things.
I just have the talking points, but I have no actual tangible examples.
Oh my God.
I'm a complete moron. A complete utter moron. Yeah.
Anyway, thought that would bring some levity to what was a not very good news show.
It was a pretty crappy day. It's been a pretty crap day, but those were good. Those are some good ones that we just played. Those were good ones. Yeah.
So now it's time for your whack.
Okay. This guy is also he reminds me of like a mini Trudeau.
Yeah.
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 Harry Sisson is his name.
Is it Harry or Henry?
I think it's Harry.
Harry?
I think his name is Harry.
Why
yeah,
he's
I love my
famous,
family.
man.
I love my brother. I love my brother. I love my family. And
Not that Harry.
He's basically a hired shill by the Democrat Party. He's being paid a good amount of money by them. And I also put this on our site a couple days ago. That he's just this Gen Zer. You know, the surprising thing is I showed him to my daughter the other day, and I'm like, can you believe this kid is in college? He's a college kid.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he was that old.
And my daughter was like, God, he looks like he's my age. And I said, I know. He looks like he's about 13 years old. So he may need to go through puberty at some point. I don't know. He looks really, really young, but I think he's like a freshman or sophomore in college. But they hired like two of these kids. It's like him and this other kid, I think named Chris. I think that's his name. And I may have it wrong. But they hired these two Gen Zers to just get on TikTok all the time and inundate young people with a bunch of, liberal propaganda.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things right after, the Canadian fires, and now New York is just in a total smog fest.
And it's all the way down to DC. I mean, because our Radio America folks in the DC area are also, it's all super hazy and icky.
Right.
We have a warning here in Indiana. I mean, it's very nice and sunny out right now, but theoretically, like if you look at the Weather Channel, it says air quality not great or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, even down here, it's bad. It's really, really bad.
Liberals are blaming it on climate change, right?
Of course.
This is what they're doing. They blame everything on climate change, and you need to fork over your hard-earned money and staple it to the clouds, you guys. You have to staple all your money to the clouds. So this is what he's saying in this video, of course.
State of New York right now, and if you haven't seen the news, forest fires in Canada are blowing smoke and ash down into New York and other surrounding states, and the sky is literally orange right now.
Literally.
Like, it's 2 p.m. and the sky looks like this all over New York City, the suburbs, everywhere across the state of New York. And it just goes to show you that our environment is important. And if we continue down this path of not caring about our environment and not caring about climate change, this will become the reality for a lot more people.
Oh my God.
So this is the kind of stuff that he'll, every day he'll post stuff about how, Joe Biden is the greatest and he's not really old, and you shouldn't make fun of him for falling. All sorts of, it's just total crap, this kid. And he gets ratioed like crazy. I mean, people will just attack him just relentlessly for being a complete douche. Total.
Well, I mean, that's just such nonsense. Yeah, people don't care about the environment. You know who didn't care? Justin Trudeau, when he had a bunch of scientists in 2020 and 2021 saying we need controlled forest fire burns because we are going to have like a disaster if we don't do something about this. Please spend money the right way. No, he's like, I need to figure out how to say 2S LGBTQ, blah, 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 blah. That's more important.
You forgot Two-Spirit. You forgot
No, I said
Two-Spirit.
2S.
And you also forgot that is not
said
talking. That is not the right talking point, Blondie. Okay. That is not what they want you to talk about. They want you to talk about climate change.
God, I'm just so sick of these people.
Like more of your money, which is exactly what Harry's trying to push, which is why it's whack. And so if you get a chance, go check him out on TikTok because he's really interesting kid who's getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars by the DNC to spew propaganda bullshit. So if you get a chance,
don't check him out.
Oh, you should.
Don't give him the views.
You should check him out and then respond to him at will. You should totally do that because I thoroughly enjoy his little ditties that he puts out there. You guys should check him out. Anyway,
Michael Stellar, thank you. We missed it. He must have sent this back when we were talking about Joe Biden because he's like visiting angels, America's choice home. Thank you very much for that. Yeah. All right, it is time for some talks. I do have a couple of like political talks. Is that okay since it's Friday? Yeah. Should we like start with those and then we'll end with like yay?
Yeah. Start with the political ones and end with the dog screaming and whatnot.
Okay. All right. So first I'm trying to think of the order that I want to do these in. As much as we are not friends with Matt Walsh, he did an amazing expose on Twitter yesterday that if you have not seen, you need to see it. This guy on TikTok summarizes it. It has to do with some of the biggest gender affirming care centers in the country, just being absolutely devastatingly, brutally dangerous to people who have mental health issues. And so this is a summary of what Matt Walsh uncovered.
So Matt Walsh from the Daily Wire sent one of his producers posing as a man looking to receive gender-affirming care, sent him to the Plume Clinic, which is one of the largest gender clinics in the entire gender healthcare providers in the entire country. And they got a telehealth appointment, meaning he spent 22 minutes talking to a healthcare professional. And after that 22 minutes, was able to get a letter of recommendation to get an oreectomy surgery, which is a surgery to remove your testicles.
Oh my God.
Because he told the worker that he was experiencing gender dysphoria. Groner is the last name of the, she is a clinical social worker. So, and she also advised him that even if he isn't feeling full gender dysphoria, to say that he is, because that's the only way that insurance will cover it. Also, the people at Folks Health, FOLX, another large organization providing gender-affirming care, said the same thing, that it's really important that even if you don't feel like you're fully gender dysphoric, say that you are, so you get the letter of recommendation officially and that it's covered by insurance. The most important thing to them is getting you into the process. You start getting these elective surgeries, start getting the hormones, start spending money is another way to look at it. Now, 22 minutes was the length of the health appointment, telehealth over Zoom. And how much longer do you think it took for the letter to arrive? 3 days. 3 days later, they got a letter of recommendation from the Plume Clinic saying that they strongly advise that this producer, posing as someone that wants gender care, strongly advised that he get his testicles removed because he experiences gender dysphoria. This is all on video too, because it's telehealth. And this, the producer who's posing as the person also told them that he hadn't been experiencing it for longer than 6 months, which according to WPATH, the World Professional Association for Transgender Health, who set the standards, and they're the ones that have to like approve these surgeries and that make sure there's up to a certain standard of care. Their standard of care is that you have to experience dysphoria for at least 6 months to be considered for surgeries and hormones. And he wasn't, and he was still pushed, not just for hormones, but for an elective ball removal. I mean, this is wild. And these places like Plume Health will charge you $150 for a letter of recommendation so you can go get the surgery that you'd like. So if you guys don't believe that there is absolutely room for corruption and fraud, these organizations, Plume operates in 41 states in this country, and Folks operates in 47. That's almost the entire nation. We need to be going through this with a fine-tooth comb. This isn't right. This has become a racket, and it is the gender industrial complex.
Yeah, that's insane. You know, it took me 6 days to get my chronic migraine medication, and I shouldn't be off of it. It's like, it's, you know, preventative medication, and it's like insane. I've been on it for like 15 years. It took me 6 days to get it, and you can get a ball removal in 3. You know what I mean? Like you can get approved for it. Like something's wrong, you know, with our just the medical industry in general. Like there's just some stuff that's happening that I've been seeing over the past 5 to 10 years where things are just not right with doctors, with just the medical industry in general. Things are just not right, you guys. It's just, I don't know.
And it's getting worse. I mean,
it's getting way worse.
I don't know did I even mention like on air that there's, before my gum surgery last Friday, they tried to prescribe me oxycodone, which is unavailable. Like it's just, you can't get it.
You can't get it.
I don't know what the shortage is. I don't know what the problem is. They couldn't get it. So then they prescribed hydrocodone, a 5 milligram. They could not get that. There was no supply of hydrocodone. Then they tried a 10 milligram thinking, well, if we get her that, we can just have her cut it in half. They finally were able to get that. I don't take those anyway. I didn't need it. And so now I just have pain medication in case of like an emergency. But the fact that you cannot access common drugs anymore, your migraine meds, I've heard there's some cancer drugs that people cannot get access to. This is freaking insane.
Yeah, there are a lot of shortages of medication right now. It's really weird. And it's the stuff that I've never experienced before. And it's just bizarre. And yet, you know, you can say, hey, I want to get my balls cut off. And they're like, okay.
Let's get you in next week. Let's get you in.
I mean, what is going on? Yeah.
It's
crazy,
bad. And I blame Mayor Pete. I've decided that I put all the blame on him.
Just
If it
blame
is
him.
if it's a shortage, if it's a supply chain issue,
Supply chain.
all the blame is going on him.
Yeah, totally. Especially when it comes to getting your balls cut off, we'll blame him.
Yeah. You and I have correctly predicted that there was going to be some backlash from the LGB community about being included in the larger alphabet brigade. And now we are starting to hear from those people quite a bit. And so I want to make sure that I play you a couple different videos from 2 examples. Here's one.
There is a huge difference between the LGBs and the TQ pluses. Because the TQ plus is all about gender ideology, the LGB is about sexuality. There is nothing in conflict with reality about being lesbian, gay, bisexual. It is an objective reality that sometimes people are attracted to other people of the same sex. The TQ plus is based around gender ideology, which is in direct conflict with objective reality. It demands that everybody deny objective reality and kowtow to the ideology by using people's preferred pronouns that are in conflict with their biological sex. Now, I'm all for adults being able to identify and live however they want, but the second you start forcing other people to play your game, that's when people are going to get upset. And people have gotten very upset, and they've lumped in the LGBs with that anger. And I'm tired of being lumped in with an ideology that has nothing to do with who I am as a gay man.
Yeah.
So there's one.
They're sick of it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And rightly so.
Yep.
Rightly so. He's not the only one. I love this guy too.
This is why public acceptance of gay people is declining. Nobody in their right mind wants to be completely inundated with pride flags for the month of June, whether you are gay or straight. We are all sick of it. I don't need to see a pride flag to feel welcome in my country or to not feel oppressed. Do you know what this says to me? Not that we're a marginalized community. In fact, it says the opposite. that we are a community that incessantly needs validation in order to feel welcome in society because we're so insecure about ourselves. If this is something that you feel like you need every June, ask yourself why. Because anybody in their right mind, gay or straight, doesn't need this or want it. This is not equality. This is privilege. And I hate to break it to you, but true equality doesn't come with privilege. So are we really fighting for equal rights or are we fighting for special treatment? This.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yep. Amen to that.
Right?
Mhm.
So great. Okay. I know that's a lot of sort of political stuff. I just want to show one more itsy bitsy, really quick video just to give people a sense of what's going on in New York City, the smoke and the haze and all the stuff happening from the Canadian wildfires.
Can you first say something to Aaron, who just gave us a super sticker?
Oh, yes, I can.
And point out what Aaron just said.
Aaron, thank you. Real life gay here. I want nothing to do with the alphabet. Also, can somebody please tell me what two-spirit is? I think we tried the other day and we were like, I don't know if we can.
We don't know, Aaron. None of us know.
It's so complicated.
I don't
There's
know.
like a whole bunch of trolls in here today. I'm trying to ban them as I see them, but they're just typing the word poop over and over again because they think that that's funny. They don't realize though that gives us more engagement. So
really, they saying poop is supposed to be funny.
Yeah, they think that that's like really funny, and they're just doing it over and over and over again.
Garrett is one of them. Thomas Garrett saying poop is supposed to be funny.
Is that another one? I don't think I've seen him yet.
Thanks, Thomas Garrett, for saying poop, and welcome this early in the morning. I'm glad that you have no life and you have nothing better to do.
But thank you for helping our video get engagement. Appreciate it.
Congratulations on having no life. Good for you. All right.
Anyway, so obviously the smog is really bad. The smoke is really, really bad. There was a chick in Jersey City who normally has a very, very beautiful view of Manhattan. And so she wanted to so she showed a video of like what her typical view looks like. And then she showed what it looked like yesterday. And I just thought, in case people haven't seen these photos, these images, these videos, this is how bad it is.
This is what my view from Jersey City normally looks like, looking over Manhattan compared
Which is cool. Today. It's a nice view. Oh my God.
Can you believe that?
Wow. That is not okay.
I mean, wow. That's really, really bad. Like really, really bad.
It is.
Which is why I thought, now we're going to get to the fun stuff. So Esty, that hilarious chick who imitates Kamala. So she recorded a voicemail that she left for the country of Canada. Okay.
Okay.
And so I just love this so much. Here it is.
Canada, how the heck are you? It's Kamala. Listen, I need a little favor. I need you to cut the shit. All right? I need you to cut the shit. I can't breathe. It's really hard to laugh at everything going on in America when I can't breathe. Okay? It's hard to pull the country by myself. Joe can't breathe. Joe can't walk in a straight line on a good day. You have any idea what he's been dealing with today? All right? He's hallucinating. He's shitting ash. I don't know what's going on, but you need to stop. You need to stop. The world is watching. Okay? Now, let's go. Let's get some firefighters and put those fires out from yesterday so that we can live today and be unburdened by all of the fires that were set.
Be unburdened by all. I love it. It's fantastic.
She's so awesome at that. God, I love her so much.
So great.
I love her. All right. So now we've got some fun things. This fellow has adopted a new pet, and this particular pet will not allow him to put him down. And it's so completely precious, you guys.
I swear, it don't matter where we go or what we do. Ever since we got this little baby.
What is it? What is it?
He wants his daddy.
Oh my God.
Nothing else. I didn't ask for this. I may have paid for it, but I didn't ask for this crap. But
oh, you love
I'll tell you
it.
something.
Oh my God.
I love this little thing.
Yeah.
Look at that face.
I love you. You know I love you.
Yeah, he totally loves that monkey.
You hear that little sound he's making? It's like a. It's like a cat purring. It means they're comfortable and stuff.
Where did he get a monkey? Like, how do
I'll
you?
probably get some.
I'm not
flack
getting
for
a
this,
monkey,
but
Steve. I'm not. There's no way
these
I'm getting a
little baby monkeys
monkey.
are like so much sweeter.
So sweet.
Seriously, you guys,
Say human monkeys, human baby.
you can't go to the
So
Humane
precious.
Society and just like adopt a monkey. They don't have
Well,
them there.
obviously, I went to that guy's entire account to see other videos,
Of
and he
course you
also
did.
has 2 baby raccoons.
Like, where did he do this?
I don't know.
What the heck? Okay.
I don't
They
know,
have
but isn't that the
have breeders
sweetest?
all over. I feel like that should be illegal, shouldn't it?
I think in Texas you can basically have any animal
You
you
can have
want.
anything in Texas. I know you can.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you can. It's a free for all.
Okay. There's this woman who like inserts her mouth into famous portraits, and it's just so hilarious to me. Look at this with like the dance
Oh my god, that's fantastic. That is fantastic.
I just love that so much.
That is
Also, I was
great.
not expecting to see a cat who could be so well trained, but apparently cats, if you work hard at it and have the right cat,
Oh my
can be
God.
trained just like dogs. Look at this.
Sit. Paul.
What?
Yeah. Oh. Up. Up.
Oh my gosh. That's so crazy.
Right?
I think that cat is identifying as a dog. I don't think the
that's
cat
amazing.
knows. I don't think the cat realizes it's a cat.
I mean, it definitely, that's a smart ass cat. I don't know how you get a cat to do that. My cat would have never done that.
Katrina said that her son taught his cat to go to the bathroom on the toilet.
I've heard that about cats, that you can do, because cats are very, very clean. And I'm sure it bothers them to some degree that they have to
go.
use a litter box. You know what I
Really?
mean?
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Because they are so clean. And so that probably is not fun for them. So if they know that they can just go and get rid of it, I can see where that would be something that you could train a cat to do. So I don't know. But I did not know that you could do that. And now I know.
Thanks. James Dever needs to be
I did. Yeah. They're swarming us right now. So
I don't understand I don't get the whole poop thing, how that's supposed to be funny. I just don't get it.
well, they're juveniles, so they think it's hilarious. But yeah,
right.
I mean, it helps us. So thank you, I guess. But whatever. We can't begin a weekend without Casper, right?
Yes.
So we're going to have our final TikTok today. That, by the way, did I mention that they're brought to you by MyPillow, and you should get your 2.0 MyPillow with the buy one get one offer at mypillow.com/chicks. You should do that, and then you should use code chicks to get discounts on everything else.
Yes.
Okay,
Do it.
do that.
Do it.
Here's Casper.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray.
Look at his face.
You'll never know how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
He nailed it. He totally nailed the ending. That was fantastic. That dog is awesome.
I just love that dog so
good.
much.
Are you gonna get up?
So much.
Get up. Come here, get up. Get up. Get up. Come on, get up. I'm trying so hard to
You
get him
have
up,
to.
you guys.
If you have to get up and do it, you got to do it because it's the weekend.
He's getting up.
Okay.
Oh, he already flapped. Once. Yes. Come here. Come on.
We got a pre-flap. Will we get another? Oh,
come on. Oh. Okay, let's do it. Ah, there it is.
is.
It was really juicy, you guys. It was very juicy, wasn't it? Oh, it was a juicy flap.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Eric, I'm going to sick my dog on you.
People are so bored. Like, do you have a job? Do they have jobs?
They don't have jobs. You know what they do? They live off of us. That's what they do.
That's right.
Freaking libs. Anyways, you guys have the greatest. Oh, we're going to bring it in. We got to bring it in. You guys bring it in.
I'm even hugging all the poop trolls just because they helped our engagement today. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the engagement. Sorry that your parents don't love you. Sorry about that, you guys.
That must suck for you.
It
Truly.
really must. You guys pray for those people. You guys have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you on Monday.